Hello there, Scorpio. Thank you so much for stopping by for your Scorpio Tarot Insights. What we're going to be doing is looking at one life cycle today, and I've seen a life cycle last anywhere from 20 minutes up to literally years, depending on how quickly you embrace the lesson or the experience of the life cycle. And life cycles, we all have several of them going on at the same time. They'll be in different areas of our life, and they'll somewhat overlap. And what a life cycle does is it sets us up to learn something or to experience something. So once we graduate from that life cycle, then we move on to the next life cycle to learn or experience the next new thing. So what we start out with when I look at a life cycle is we start out with the setup, which is things that are going on right now. So you'll recognize all of those as I'm going through. And then we'll talk about the lesson or experience of the life cycle, which you may be already experiencing, or that may be in the future, so you may or may not recognize that. And then the end of the life cycle, or the fulfillment of the life cycle before you graduate on to the next life cycle, not right before you kick the bucket, just right before you advance to the next learning or experience, is what happens when you integrate that lesson or experience into your life. Things that happen, things that change as you do that. So, and those things also could be in the future, or you may be experiencing them right now. So let's just get started. So Scorpio, the first thing that I have showing up for us, and I say us because I also am a Scorpio, so the first thing that I have showing up for us does talk to me about the environment. And environment usually is home, but it can be any place where you have energy or effort invested. I've seen it turn up as work, I've seen it turn up as school, normally home though. And so what I'm seeing here about our environment, sorry for the pause, I just suddenly had something pop at me from this card that I've never really even noticed on the card before. So while I'm talking, I'm also processing and feeling around about what does this mean. Okay, so with our environment, we have kind of a mixed bag of things going on in our environment. We may feel like things like our energy is being depleted, maybe more than what it should be. For the environment that we're in, but we're also seeing that there is some real positive moments or some real positive nuggets about our environment that are good for us as well. So there's a mixed bag about what's going on in this environment. So I think that the nuggets probably, or the special precious moments probably, are what keep us in the environment, even though aside from those precious nuggets, we may be feeling like we're putting in a lot more effort than what should have to be. All right, so next I want to look at our subconscious leanings and what we have here. Well, we have something that we're definitely trying to think through and understand, that's for sure. Just really, it seems like there's some kind of situation that has us a little bit confused or twisted up. It seems like things should be going one way and then they kind of slide the other way, and we're not exactly understanding how that's working or why. And we're just trying to put all the information together and make this into something that's logical and predictable for ourselves. So there's a lot of thought going on in our subconscious right now, much more so than feeling, which is unusual for us water signs. The next thing I have coming up talks to us about our learning style and also our communication style. Okay, so I think that we've had some things that have been disappointing to us recently, or maybe even right now, that we've learned a lot from. Even though they were disappointing, whatever it wasn't a total loss, because there was a nugget or something that came out of it that really helped us understand something else, and it's helping us to move forward. So when we see this, this is you know, kind of, I almost want to say learning the hard way, but I don't think that really fits. Maybe learning through heartache might fit a little bit better. And I don't feel like these are big, huge, colossal disappointments or heartaches, but they were enough to get our attention and make us realize, oh, we have to do a little course adjustment here to keep something like that from happening again. So learning through disappointments teaching us lessons. All right, so communication style, let's move on to that. I think right now for this particular life cycle, we are trying really to be calm and peaceful in our communication, even when maybe the situation could easily be not calm or not peaceful. We are really maintaining our calm. We're keeping our cool. It's not that we're not saying the things that need to be said. I think that we are saying what needs to be said, but we are saying it in a more toned down way than what could be normal for some of us. A lot of us Scorpios, we like to be loud, we like to get the point across fast, and then once we've gotten that point across, we let it go. We're done with that. We're moving on, and the people that are around us may be a little still in like, what just happened? And we're fine. So I think that we're adjusting that during this life cycle. We're becoming more peaceful and more calm about how we say the things that we want to put out there that we feel like do need to be adjusted. All right, so that was learning style and communication style. Next, we're going to look at work. Okay, so I wanted to say that and we're coming to the holiday season, so this makes perfect sense, but it looks like work is slowing down for us during this particular life cycle, and that's giving us some time to sort of think things over. I do also feel like work is shifting. It looks different than how it looked before. Maybe we have slightly different responsibilities. Maybe the pace is different, but there's definitely something different about work than how it used to be. And I do mean noticeably different, not just a subtle difference. So if you're trying, if you're hearing me and you're trying to figure out what is that difference and it's really hard for you to put your finger on it, then this is not pertaining to you. If you hear this and you go, oh, yeah, I know exactly what she's talking about, then we've got it, because something's different about work and it's something that's noticeable. You're definitely feeling it. Now, inner work, inner work, inner work. I feel like inner work is kind of slowing down for us during this time frame too. Maybe we're distracted by the holidays. Maybe there's, something else that's distracting to some of us, but I don't feel like we're paying so much attention to inner work. In fact, I think some of us may even be at a little bit of a stagnation point at inner work. So, and I've always kind of believed that if we're doing that inner work and we're moving forward, we're making progress, that's great. If we're not making progress, we're losing ground. I don't see any middle ground there. I've never seen any middle ground there in my own inner work, nor from anything that I've heard from other people that I've talked to about inner work. And so this feels like there may be a little bit of stagnation on the inner work, that things are kind of slipping away. We're getting a little bit rusty at some things because we're not doing so much inner work. Maybe we're too distracted to meditate as much, or whatever your spiritual practice is. Maybe that we're just going through a time where there's so much going on, we're having a hard time just sitting down and focusing on those. All right, let's look at that part of us that is being grown or expanded right now. Oh, everybody's favorite thing to learn. We are learning patience. That part of us that's being grown or expanded is our capacity for patience. And also, not only patience, but I'm hearing that it's a specific kind of patience. It's a patience where we're waiting for the correct opportunity or for a good window of opportunity to make a move about something that we want to move forward with. So we're learning about timing and how to take advantage of good timing and how to sit still and wait through the bad timing so that things can be as successful as possible. All right, the next thing that I'm looking at talks to me about those things that we stand for. Is this a person or is this a thing? Okay. I'm really being struck by the idea that there are cycles here. And it may be that you're having to stand up for the idea that, there's prosperous cycles and then there's more ho-hum cycles and there's everything has a cycle, turn, 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 everything has its turn. And so I think that this may be a time when materially, physically, this is not like the best time that you have ever been in. And I think that from the looks of this card, there may be people that are coming up to us and saying, hey, how come you're not doing this? How come you're not doing that? And it's just too much of a load on us to do those things right now. We're not in the same position we were in last year or the year before or whatever. Maybe we've downsized. Maybe we live in a smaller place. Maybe there's lots of circumstances that can change. And so I feel like there are things that we are doing different, especially in regards to the holiday season. That's really coming through strongly, that this is in regards to the holiday seasons. There's things that we're doing different, probably things that we're downsizing. And I think that we're getting a little bit of backlash from the people who are used to us. If we would normally have, a big Christmas party in our house and now we're just having it all quiet, those people that normally were invited to the party might be going, hey, when's the party? What's going on? How come you're not doing it? Blah, 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 blah. And so you're having to kind of stand up for yourself that, I don't feel like that's appropriate for me this year. Maybe next year, maybe a couple years from now, but I don't want to do it this time. So just standing up for, doing things that are appropriate for you that maybe aren't as big as what they were before is what I see here for what we're standing up for. All right. How other people perceive you. Isn't this interesting? So we're standing up for our own right to choose and pick when we want to be extravagant and when we don't. And other people are perceiving us as stressing out. I think they see that if we're doing something in a smaller scale than we did it before, we're backing off of some things, they are thinking that, whoa, they must be really stressed out. I'm kind of laughing about that because, for me personally, I'm just thinking I get to choose what's appropriate for me. I don't have to make everybody happy. I can make me happy. So anyway, we're being seen as being all totally stressed out. All right. So all of that stuff is current time frame. That's stuff that we should be recognizing as we look at our lives and whenever you hear this reading. Even in a general reading, I expect to be 85% on for the people who this reading applies to. Now, obviously, this video is made for Scorpios, but because it is general and there's so many that watch, it's not going to apply to all of you. So if you think about the things that I've talked about for the setup of this life cycle, if they were 85% on, then you can pretty much figure that the rest of the life cycle, what I'm seeing here is going to be something that would be beneficial to you and help you. If you're looking at everything that I've said so far, Scorpios, and you're going, no, 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 that's not me. No, you're right. This is not for you. So I wouldn't worry about even listening to the rest of that. But this is a good way so that you know whether this video is for you or not for you. So now let's move into what may be the future. Some of you may be experiencing it already, but for a lot of you, this will be more something coming up in the future. But I do see you taking on more responsibility. That's actually the lesson or the experience here, is to take on more responsibility. I'm hearing the word again, but it's only for some of you. So for some of you, you're picking up old responsibilities that you used to carry and taking them on. And for others of you, this is new. I would say the minority of you, this is actually new. For most of you, you're picking up something old and carrying it forward. So yeah, that's interesting. Maybe there's something that you used to, that was traditionally your responsibility during the holidays, and you're picking that up again this holiday season. So that could be, the old thing or the thing that you're picking up again. And for some of you, like I said, I feel like this isn't new thing. And I'm really, on a couple of these cards, I've really heard about holiday seasons. So I really think that this has a lot to do with things that pertain to how we celebrate the holidays, whatever our holidays are. I mean, whether it's Christmas or whether, you know, you have a Jewish holiday or a Muslim holiday or what, or a Sikh holiday, whatever it is, whatever your holidays may be. It seems like a lot of different people have holidays around this time of year. And if it doesn't, if you're somebody who doesn't have holidays around this time of year, then this may be applying to you, but just not so much about the holiday. But like I said, holidays are coming through pretty strong. This is like the third card that I'm hearing about holidays on. So, yeah, so picking up some kind of responsibility. For a lot of you, this will be an old responsibility that you're picking up again, and for some of you, this will be something new that you're picking up, but that's the lesson or experience, is to be picking up some kind of responsibility, either again or fresh. What happens as you integrate this into your life, as you integrate picking up these new responsibilities into your life, there's a few things that happen. First of all, you start to see some people's true colors around you, at least one person. I feel like for most of you, you're going to see 2 or 3 people's true colors around you as you're taking care of these responsibilities. Once again, this holiday season, I keep hearing holiday. As you're taking care of your responsibilities this holiday season, I think you're going to see other people's true colors. For some of you, you're going to see quite a few people's true colors. And for some of you, it's just going to be a few. You're not so surprised by what's going on around you and what's going on with the people around you. But for some of you, there's going to be quite a few people that you're just going to be very surprised when you see their true colors. And it's not all bad either. There are some people, for some of you, there are some people who really have a generous streak that is buried pretty deep that you actually get to witness. And for others of you, you see, I think the bottom line is you see, how much people are willing to give. That's what I'm hearing. You're seeing how much people are willing to give, how much they're willing to donate, especially when it comes to charities, and especially when it comes to doing things with family. Those two are like the big hot buttons for this particular card. So you're really seeing true colors when it comes to those two things in the people around you. And like I said, some people around you seeing those true colors is a positive, enlightening, helpful, happiness-making thing. For others of you, seeing their true colors is a little bit discouraging and maybe even ratchets down your view of that person by a few notches. And I think just about all of you are going to have a mixed bag on that. Now, also as you're picking up this responsibility that for a lot of you is an old responsibility that you're carrying again, we show you being called to be the peacemaker. I feel like you're going to end up being the middleman somehow, whether you're mediating between 2 family members or whether you're, the collection point for some charity and you have to communicate back and forth to the charity to let them know what you actually have on hand, and you have to let the public know this is what we still need, whatever it is. There's some kind of mediation or some kind of peacemaking that comes into this life cycle during the fulfillment of it because of this responsibility that you're carrying. I'm hearing that for some of you, this is going to have to do with squabbles inside the family, that you're going to be trying to be the peacemaker or the go-between to get things smoothed over so that you guys can have a peaceful holiday season. There it is again. Your spread must be all about holiday season. Okay, so ultimate fulfillment of this life cycle is, and I keep saying your, but really it's ours. I keep forgetting. This is for Scorpio, which is me. Let's see. Ultimate fulfillment of this life cycle is really about grace and kindness and mercy. This is my card that when I see it, this is when I say, people can really be offensive. It would be so easy to take offense or to be upset by somebody, but instead of slapping them silly and knocking them to the sidewalk and sitting on them for a while, you decide to give them grace and just let it slide. So this is all about grace, mercy, kindness is the ultimate fulfillment here. Whatever this responsibility is, it's bringing in that grace, kindness, mercy into your life. And I feel like as you are showing grace and kindness and mercy to the people around you, gosh, this really sounds like charity work, doesn't it? or it sounds like dealing with really tough family members to deal with. Either way, it brings in grace and mercy and charity and kindness back to you too, so that it becomes like a flow, like a give and take. So very nice to see that actually flowing both ways. I don't always see that whenever it shows up, so it is nice to see that grace flowing both ways for us at the fulfillment of this life cycle. Okay, so Scorpios, there you go. I hope that you find this helpful, and I'll see you all back on the next video. Have a good holiday season. Peace out.